Hey, how are ya? Hey everyone, I know it's been forever since I've uploaded a video, but I've decided to continue making content but straying away from the usual AMV videos that I used to make. Instead, I will continue to make anime content that I feel like making. Content like manga reviews, discussions, and all of the shenanigans that anime YouTubers make. So a couple years back, a bunch of people from the One Piece YouTube community tagged each other in a challenge called the One Piece Pirate Crew Tag. So I've decided to tag myself.
Because. Why not?
Now before we get to the video, let's play a little game. Behind me is a little piece of a character from One Piece. If you get the character wrong, you have to subscribe to my channel for more anime content just like this. If you get the answer right, all you have to do is simply click the gray thumbs up button and turn it blue. Let's begin. And the character behind me was none other than the fake demon child Nico Robin. You know the rules of the game. If you got it wrong, click the big red subscribe button. If you somehow got the answer right with your big brain, click the thumbs up button. Now let's continue the video. The rules are simple. You are the captain of your crew and you get to decide another role that you have, whether it's being a navigator, a cook, or the shipwright. You can also choose if you are a devil fruit user and choose the devil fruit that you possess. You choose 12 crewmates, 6 characters that are your main fighters and the other 6 as the crew's support characters, dead or alive. Non-canon characters are allowed. Marines and revolutionaries are also allowed, but the only exception is no Yonkos allowed. To add to the challenge, I'm also going to be making my cruise ship and adding chemistry as one of the factors to making my crew. Because if you're going to find the One Piece with your crew, you're going to be spending tons of time with each other, and characters like Law and Doflamingo on a crew is just not going to be good news. So with that being said, let's begin. So before we dive into me and my abilities, let's start off with the ship. My ideas for my cruise ship might seem a little crazy, but I think I have the perfect people in my crew to make this ship happen. The ship would be based off of a turtle. Because who doesn't love turtles? The bottom of the ship would have a green mechanical turtle that will be able to move on land. On the turtle's shell would be what a usual ship would look like. The name of the ship: Shell Shock. And I'd like to imagine that the ship is somewhat larger in size than the Thousand Sunny that the Straw Hats own. Now let's talk about me and my abilities now. First off, other than being the captain of the Void Pirates, I will choose to be the crew's navigator and help us sail across the oceans. Will I be a good navigator? Well, I hope so. Now let's get to my abilities. First off, I choose to be a devil fruit user, but before we get to the name and abilities of my devil fruit, I wanted to add a little backstory. Sort of like who I used to be part of the Marines. More specifically, the CP0. Until I was betrayed and casted off for eating my current devil fruit without the permission of the world government. Now I'm on the run and in search of the One Piece. During my time in the CP0, I mastered the 6 powers, also known as Rokushiki. Saru. The ability to move at high speeds, almost as if you were teleporting. Jeppo. The ability to push yourself through the air using powerful kicks. Kami A. Allows the user to be extremely flexible to avoid attacks. Shigan. A close combat attack that greatly increases arm strength. Rankyaku. A powerful projectile technique that allows me to kick at very high speeds and strength. Takai. It hardens my body, or just certain parts of my body, to the level of iron. And since I mastered all 6 Rokushiki techniques, I was able to unlock the special 7th technique called Rokuogan, the ultimate attack of the Rokushiki style. And along with the Rokushiki techniques, I would also like to think that I'm at least a bit above average on all 3 types of hockey, because if I want to become the Pirate King and find the One Piece, I think Conqueror's Hockey is a must-have. Now that we've talked about my fighting style, let's get to the reason why the CP0 kicked me out of their organization and now is hunting for my head. I have a lot of heavy hitters and powerful people on my crew, so as the captain, it's only fitting for me to have a powerful fruit that will help me lead them. I gave it a lot of thought, and the devil fruit that I have eaten is the Disaster fruit, a paramecia devil fruit that allows me to become a natural disaster human. I can produce and control natural disasters that happen in the world, such as earthquakes that will allow me to produce quakes like Whitebeard. Heat-based disasters that give me the ability to produce volcanoes and control the lava in it. This also allows me to control fire as if I were a forest fire itself. I will be able to control the wind and air itself to create things like tornadoes, windstorms, dust storms, and sandstorms. Another ability of the fruit is to even control the cold. Avalanches, hailstorms, and snowstorms. And the last ability of the fruit is it will help me control even water. I will be able to produce thunder/lightning storms, rainstorms, hurricanes, floods, and especially tsunamis. I know you might be thinking that I'm pushing it and the devil fruit is too OP.
But hey, they gave me the choice to have my own fruit, and I'm going all out with it.
Now that we've talked about me, let's introduce the members of the Void Pirates, starting off with my right-hand man. I had a couple candidates for the vice captain role of my crew, and one of them was Zoro. But why get Zoro if we can just get the strongest swordsman already? The vice captain of my crew is none other than Dracula Mihawk, who currently holds the title of the strongest swordsman in the world, who's claimed to even rival one of the strongest characters in the whole series, one of the Emperors of the Sea. Red-haired Shanks. Mihawk carries a renowned black blade on him called Yoru. Some things that we have witnessed with our own eyes were when he toyed with and cut down Zoro with ease, when he stood up from his chair and sent a powerful air slash towards Whitebeard. Not only is Mihawk the strongest swordsman in the world, he is also surprisingly capable of cooking, as he cooked meals for him and Perona for 2 years of the time skip. So although Mihawk is more of a lone wolf and he might not interact and goof around with the crew, I can still imagine him in the kitchen with our crew's cook stirring up a meal with our chef that you will find out about later. The next member of my crew is my left-hand man, the Sanji to my Luffy. As I was thinking of making my crew, he was the first character I picked. The left-hand man of my crew is none other than Mr. Borsalino, the yellow monkey of the Marines, Kizaru. Kizaru has the ability of the Pika Pika no Mi that allows him to literally become light itself, which in my opinion is a top 5 devil fruit in the series. Who doesn't want a guy who can move at light speed on the crew? We saw his capabilities in full action when he absolutely destroyed some of the worst generation members and during the War of the Best at Marine Ford. Especially when he was shown to be able to keep up with the Dark King, Ray Lee himself. Kizaru is a laid-back character, and what's on his mind is one of the biggest mysteries in the story. And that mysterious mind of his is what makes him the scariest character in the series. I think that if you do get to know Kizaru, he'd be a great person to be around, whether it's drinking or smoking. Even though I don't smoke, there is a character on my crew who I'm sure would smoke with Kizaru. Now that we've introduced my right and left-hand man, let's introduce the next 4 fighters of my crew. Starting off with the daimyo of Curry himself, Kozuki Oden. We all know what Oden can do, from scarring Kaido to clashing with the strongest man in the world, Edward Newgate. Not only is Oden one of the strongest characters we've seen in the series, but he can also read and write the language that's on the poneglyphs, which means he can help us find the One Piece just like he did with Roger. But in this case, let's just pretend he never seen the legendary One Piece. And a bonus with Oden is his outgoing personality, which will make for great drinks and late-night talks on the ship. The next member of the crew is none other than the former 1st Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, Marco the Phoenix. With my Devil Fruit, I can control air, which I can use to fly. And with Marco's Devil Fruit, he's able to turn into a phoenix, which gives my crew air superiority. Not only is Marco very powerful, as we've seen him take on 2 All-Stars by himself, he looked like he wasn't even trying the whole time, but Marco also has the insane healing ability with his flames, which means that he can work together with the doctor of my crew and help out with healing members. The most important characteristic I was looking for in characters is how well they would work with others, and Marco fits just that. He's a good guy and is someone that you can hang out with on a normal day on the ship. The next member of my crew is none other than the son of Kaido himself, Kazuki Oden. I meant Yamato. I meant Kazuki Oden. Well, whatever. In this case, we'll just call her Yamato. Because we have the real Oden on our crew, I feel like Yamato will not identify as him, but instead look up to him as a god, and follow his every move, which I don't really have a problem with, because on my crew we're all friends at the end of the day. Yamato has the mythical zone fruit called the Inu Inu no Mi Madalakuchi no Makami, which is the guardian deity of Wano. She's been seen to be able to clash with Kaido in hybrid form, and has shown her powerful haki. Not only is she strong, but she's also been shown to be outgoing, which means that she's another member on the crew that will be fun to hang around with. The last member of the fighters of my crew is the Flame Emperor himself. Wink Wink Chapter 1054 was absolute
Fire.
The right-hand man of Dragon, Sabo. Not only does he possess the powers of the Mera Mera no Mi, but he only just got the fruit recently, and has increased his strength immensely, even testing the fruit out against one of the admirals, Fujitora. Before eating the fruit, he was a Haki-type fighter, and he was already strong, rising up the ranks of the Revolutionary Army. I could have chosen Ace instead of Sabo, and it was a tough decision, but I already have 2 members, or former members of the Whitebeard crew, and I didn't want most of my fighters being part of another already existing crew, so I decided to change things up. Now that we've introduced the 6 fighters on the crew, let's get to the 6 support characters. The first support character on my crew is the Doctor. And there's really not much choices to choose from, but the Doctor of my crew is Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, the Surgeon of Death, which on my opinion, is the coolest nickname in the series. Law, as we know, has the Ape no Mi, which allows him to create rooms that lets him manipulate the fabric of space and disassemble living and non-living things inside of it. Another ability we saw him use was where he swapped people's souls and put them into different bodies, where he did that to the Strawats. Law, just like me, Hawk isn't an outgoing person, so I don't see him goofing around with the rest of us, but I do still see him hanging around with the crew, especially with Marco, where they would team up to help heal some of the members of the crew. The next member of my crew is the role of the scientist, to create and discover new things. The scientist on my crew is none other than Vegapunk. We know little to nothing about Vegapunk, but we do know that he, or she, is extremely smart, being years and years ahead of his time. But there is a popular theory that I won't get into. But the theory is that Kizaru is actually Vegapunk, Kizaru the left hand of my crew. So just in case this theory is true, I decided to choose a substitute scientist just in case. The backup scientist I chose was Lindbergh, one of the Revolutionary Army's commanders. Both Vegapunk and Lindbergh, I'm positive, will be able to work together with my crew's shipwright to make our ship the Shell Shock. Speaking of shipwright, I had a lot of candidates, starting off with Tom, then Iceberg, Rob Lucci, or Kaku. But I ended up choosing Frankie, because let's be honest, Frankie is probably the best choice. Not only is he a skilled shipwright, but he can also fight in underwear. Along with his skills, he's also a great person to be around, and would make for lots of fun nights on the ship just hanging around and laughing with him. The next member on my crew probably has the most important role on the ship. The cook of the Void Pirates is none other than Blackleg Sanji. We all know that Sanji is a skilled cook, but he's also a Vinsmoke. Which we recently saw, that he has the body modification that his siblings also have, even though he doesn't want to be associated with them. His modified body along with unique fighting style means that he's not only just a support character. A little spoilers up ahead, but we only have 2 girls in the crew, which means his weakness for beautiful women will still be a problem for us. The next member of my crew basically has 2 roles. The helmsman of my crew is the first son of the sea, Jinbei. We saw Jinbei show his helmsman skills when the Straw Hats were escaping from Totland. Not only is he a skilled helmsman, but he's clearly a fish man, which means he can save devil fruit users who have fallen overboard. He's also powerful fishman karate use too, even being able to block Akanu's magma attack. The last member of my crew can be easily seen as a broken character because of her devil fruit. As I was watching some of the other One Piece pirate crew tags, I was surprised to see that not much people picked her to be on their crew. The last member of my crew is Baccarat from Film Gold. If you don't already know, she has the ability of the Luck fruit. It gives her the ability to steal luck from people and give it to others, making them extremely unlucky, but the person she gave the luck to becomes extremely lucky. She can use her devil fruit to give me, or the other members on the crew, extreme luck, which gives us the advantage in lots of scenarios. Now that all the members have been introduced, let's do a quick recap. We have me, the captain, a former member of the CP0, and the user of the disaster fruit. My right-hand man Dracula Mihawk, the strongest swordsman in the world. At my left hand we have the yellow monkey, Admiral Kizaru, who is the user of the glint fruit. Suzuki Oda, who can read the language on the poneglyph for us. Marco the Phoenix, who can also be a doctor on the crew. The son of Kaido, Yamato, who is the user of the mythical Zonakuchi no Mikami. The user of the Mara no Mi, Sabo. The main doctor of the crew, Trafalgar D. Waterlaw. The scientist of the crew, Vegapunk, and Lindbergh being a backup scientist just in case Kizaru is Vegapunk. The shipwright of our crew, Cyborg Frankie. Blackleg Sanji, the cook of our crew. The first son of the sea, Jinbei, who is our helmsman. And Baccarat, who is the user of the Luck fruit.
Thanks for watching. Come back next time for more content like this.